Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Friday. Are you guys having a good start to your weekend? I'm having a fantastic start to my weekend. But today and last night did not go as planned whatsoever. And most of today I've had kind of this, I think it's the allergies. I have not taken my allergy medicine today, but I've kind of had this like rough cough. I feel great. I feel completely fine. But I feel like I have this kind of like, well, I do have this rough cough today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I talk so much. I woke up today and I was like, I think I'll just film my vlog today. And I'm literally uploading right now on my computer and on my phone, my 5th and 6th video for the day. 4 I have posted already, and then this vlog is my 7th. So I posted on all of my channels today. And I woke up and I said, I don't know that I'm gonna film any videos today. So let me tell you, let's go back in time. First of all, let's do a time and temperature check. I can't vlog for a long time because we have to leave here at 8:30 to go over to Carlos and Liliana's for Liliana's birthday party tonight, which is gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be Alex and I. Alex's mom is coming over there. His grandma is coming over there. His aunt and uncle are coming over there. So it'll be a lot of fun. The kids will be there. And then a lot of friends of Liliana's and Carlos's will be there. So it'll be loud and fun and just, you know, food and games and all that kind of stuff. I'm real excited about it. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything done and up before. I'm hoping that I have the vlog like published and everything so I can just like set the time so when we leave. But we have to leave here at 8:30 and it is currently 6:47. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna vlog for 45 minutes to an hour. We'll just see. I mean, until I get done talking. But I wanna give myself like 10 minutes and I have to start getting ready at 8 because I'm gonna take a shower. It's real this is one of the things I love about his family is that it's so casual. So I'm just gonna, oh, you know what, I just remembered. I have to put it in the washing machine. Well, maybe when I get to the 30-minute mark, I will put it in the washing machine or in the dryer. I have jeans and a hoodie that have to be dried. So, maybe just the jeans. If I have the other. So I washed the brown hoodie. I washed like 2 pairs of pajama pants, 4 t-shirts, the brown hoodie, and the jeans I wore when I went with Caroline on Wednesday. And I wanted to wear those again tonight. So maybe, I mean, I've got other stuff to wear, but maybe I will just put the jeans in the dryer so they'll be ready for me when I'm like out of the shower, and then I can just wear the gray hoodie tonight. I just want to wear a hoodie and jeans and be super comfortable tonight. Alex just got back from the mall, which I'm going to tell you guys about in just a second, but he just got back from the mall, and he is laying down upstairs watching TV. And I asked him, I was like, are you going to take a nap? And he was like, no, I'm just going to watch some TV. He's like, I'm not going to change. So he's in like a hoodie and like ripped jeans, and he's like, I'm not going to change before we go over there. So, it starts at like 9, and I have a feeling we'll probably be over there till like 12 or 1 or something like that. So if the vlog is not rendered and published in time, just depends on how long it takes me, before we leave, then I will be uploading. I'll post it as soon as I get home. So whatever time it goes live is probably when we got home, unless it's all ready to go, and then I'll just schedule it to post at like 9 or 10 or something like that. But anyway, yeah, so that's been that. That's been that. So I did the time already, and then my coffee, I have my candle lighter and my wick trimmer here. I actually poured this coffee. I mean, it's been like, well, I started filming videos at 3 o'clock, and what time did I say it was? 6:49? So it took me 3.5 hours to film all these videos today. My drama video was like 22 minutes. It was a lot shorter than most of my drama videos are. So I was real relaxed filming today too. I was just like, film a video, come down here. Alex was watching TV over there. He warmed up some food. I was sitting here. I went outside. I like filmed a video outside feeding the squirrels. Then after I came in, I was uploading it. I like went outside and talked to my neighbor. I was just like so relaxed today and ended up getting all these videos done. So by the time I'm done with the vlog, it's taken me like 4.5 hours to film videos on all my channels, and I have already 4 of them uploaded. So, but anyway, I poured this coffee at like 3:30. So 3 hours later, I will say that, just to show you how this cup is, the ice is, I didn't put any new, you can't really see it. I'm afraid I'll pour it out. You know I'm good at that, in the review videos. I actually, on my review channel today, I reviewed the puzzle app that I use and that Nikki uses. So if you guys want to know exactly what puzzle app it is, I kind of did it because I talk about it over here a lot. And a lot of people have asked me, a lot of people have downloaded that exact app because I've said on here it's the one with the cat. But I still get messages from people, DMs, that people are like, which app is that you use? So if you want to know which app it is and kind of like before you like download it or buy it, because I bought the one that's ad-free, just go over to my review channel and you can check it out. But yeah, there's still ice in here 3 hours later. Crazy, isn't it? And these videos are both almost uploaded. My Peterisms video has 5 minutes left, and my drama video has 2 minutes left. I can't believe how much I got done today. So Alex went to the fashion mall, Keystone Mall, to get Liliana something for her birthday tonight. And then he came in and he said, he bought himself some stuff too from Miami. But he goes, I got you a present. And I go, you did? I thought he was kind of like joking at first. And he handed me this bag from Anthropologie, one of my favorite stores ever. Which, by the way, I just want to say, I'm going to look it up here in a second. Marissa sent me some soap. I think it was like the Christmas present that she sent me. She sent me a lot of little fun stuff. And she sent me a bar of soap from Anthropologie. I think it's like lemon and something. So last night, I took like the shower and I was like using all of my lotions and stuff in there. And shampoos and conditioners. And so I was like, I've had it on the bathroom counter for like, since I got it. And I was like, I need to open, I always save like special soaps like that. I was like, you know what? You're trying to live in the moment, enjoy every moment, not save stuff. So I opened the soap last night and I used it and it is fantastic. So Marissa, thank you so much for that soap. I love it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, I don't really know how to explain it. It doesn't really smell like lemon. It smells kind of like a hotel, like brownstone apartment in Chicago in the fall. I'm gonna look up Anthropologie soaps because I saved the one little thing so I could order it again or go in there and get it again. I love Anthropologie. Anthropologie soaps. It's a bar soap. Let me look on here and see what it says. It's pulling up Aesop. Okay, Anthropologie Beauty. Anthropologie hand sanitizers and soaps. Let's see if it even has it on here. They might not have it on here anymore. They have all kinds of stuff on here. Bar soap. It's not this one. Oh, they're not showing it on here anymore. Well, I have the wrapper, so I can order it from the company that it comes from, since Anthropologie doesn't have it anymore. But anyway, I used that last night. So, what was I talking about? Oh, so Alex went to, so when he was at the mall, he got me this from Anthropologie. And I go, is it a Capri volcano candle? And he goes, well, I heard that I heard when you were filming one of your videos, you said that you're almost out of candles. Marissa, actually, she bought me one of these candles too, but the one that she got me is like in the silver metal thing. So, I opened it, and I was like so excited about it. Hold on a second. So I was like, I will open this on my video today. So Alex got me this candle from Anthropologie. Which is so nice, isn't it? These candles smell unbelievable. I love this so much. Wasn't that so sweet of him? Alex and we bought this one Anthropologie candle. Like, I mean, it's probably, we still have it over there because I don't burn it very often. It's just the larger size of the smaller one that Marissa got me because I was trying to save until spring. But then he brought me this today and I was like, hell with it. Hell with it. I am just going to trim the wick now and burn it. So just in case you guys want to know, you can get these online through Blue Capri. And I'm trying to see which one this is. I think this is just a blue, but these are $38. They burn forever, you guys, forever. So this is what it looks like inside. So I'm gonna trim the wick. Now I do save the lids for these. I don't know why, but I just think that these canisters are so pretty. Okay. So trim the wick, and I am ready to burn it. So sweet of him. My drama video just got done. I could see it go to the side over there. The cold throw and the hot throw is amazing on these. You know what I was thinking the other day, because I saw the one that, they burn forever. I saw the one that Marissa got me. I have it up there next to our plants. And I was like waiting for spring to burn it. And I thought, why don't for spring, you love this one so much, why don't you just buy like 6 of those? And the whole house will smell like it, you know? Because I always try these different candles. I like to try different candles, but I love these candles so much. Isn't it so pretty? So anyway, okay, so last night, now I got candle lit, coffee made, this is just iced coffee. Last night, well, today has been crazy, first of all, with people reaching out to me about this Fox Hollow Farm stuff. I will just say that, which I'm just passing all that information on. But, to the people in the know, But last night, so Alex was at dinner with his friend, and I think I finished the vlog like, I think it was like, I looked down, it was like 8:39. I was like, I'm kind of surprised he's not home yet. And then I got off the vlog right after that. So he texted me right after that, and he was like, we're finishing up, I'll be home real soon because we're going to watch Traitors. Traitors came on at 9, and it was the finale and the reunion. So I went upstairs and I was like, I'm going to take a shower while the vlog is uploading or rendering and uploading. I'm going to take a shower, put comfy pajamas on, and be ready to watch Traitors. So I took a shower, got comfy pajamas on. Right as I got done, I had just come downstairs and Alex came in the door. And so he's like, well, let me run upstairs real quick and change. I think at that point it was like 20 after 9. He was like, let me run upstairs really quick and change, and then we'll watch Traitors. And I was like, okay. I was like, no hurry. So, and my plan had been that after Traitors, I was going to like take a very short nap, and then I was going to get up and I was going to read. I'm so into that Susan Beth Pfeiffer book, Life as We Knew It. I really wanted to read that last night. I wanted to do some puzzles with Nikki, and I wanted to listen to my audiobook, The Deep by Nick Cutter, and then I wanted to watch Station 11. I want to get Station 11 done so I can start Paradise. There's like 4 shows that just came out this week that I really want to watch. The new Harlan Coben show's out, and so I was like, I've got all these shows to watch. I want to spend like an entire night just like catching up on all these shows, but I also wanted to read for a little bit. So we watched Traitors, the finale last night, and then we watched a reunion. I did an entire reaction over my Peter Watches TV channel today if you want to know what I thought about Traitors last night. And then we got done with it, and it was like, right when we got done with it, it was like right after 12. And, it was right after 12, wasn't it? No, it was like, no, I think I got upstairs like right after 12. I talked to somebody on the phone. Now I don't remember, but anyway, I laid down because I told Alex, I said, I'm going to lay down just for like an hour. He was going to bed because he had a meeting this morning at 9 over there in the Zoom corner. So I was like, I'm going to lay down just for like an hour. Well, I set my alarm, and like, I think when it went off, I like turned over, I think I snoozed it like once, and then I turned over and I like turned it off. And then I woke up, and it was like, I think I set my alarm for like 1, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just skip reading tonight. I'll read like 2 chapters, do a couple puzzles with Nikki, and then I wanted to get started reading by like 2:30 or 3. So I laid there for a second, and I was like looking at something on my phone, and I just like fell asleep again. And when I woke up, it was like 4:40 in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, what happened? It's so weird. Okay, so then I fell back. So at that point, I was like, well, I'm not going to get up now. I'm just going to sleep through the night. So I reset my alarm. I knew Alex had a meeting this morning. I was like, I want to get like a good night's sleep. So I set my alarm for 12 o'clock, 12:15, I think. And I was like, because he had an appointment today. And his appointment was at 1. So I was like, he'll be leaving here at like 12:30, which means I can get up and then I can film a bunch of videos and all that kind of stuff, right? So I went back to sleep, and I woke up at like 6:30. Okay, this is so funny. So the other day, somebody asked me on here, are you still having your nightmares? And so I said the whole thing. I was like, you know, it's so weird about the nightmares and blah, blah, blah. I talked about this just yesterday or the day before. I just talked about it, about not really having nightmares or anything as much anymore. And then I don't know if it was the same person or somebody else was like, they asked almost the exact same, it was like the exact same way, are you still having your nightmares? And I was kind of like, is this sarcastic? Like, I'm confused, you know, because I just addressed it in whatever video they commented on was the video that I addressed the nightmares on, right? Last night, this has not happened to me. I don't even know how long it's happened to me. But last night when I woke up at like 6:30 or whatever it was, I was like, from like above here, from my sheets all the way down, I had like I had sweat. Like I was having like night terrors. It was so weird. I literally just said in a vlog, I don't know if maybe that triggered something for it or whatever. I don't really believe in that, but, and I don't really remember my nightmares. I do remember that, again, Tucker and Boo Radley were in my nightmares, which is weird because like after Pee Pee passed away, I think I was talking about this on here as well the other day. After Pee Pee passed away, I had some nightmares of like Pee Pee. And it would be like I would be somewhere and I wouldn't realize that he was like he was gone. And then all of a sudden it would come to me that he was like dead. This wasn't like that. Boo and Tucker in my nightmare were like completely fine, but like we were like running for our lives, and it was weird. And then I woke up, and I mean, it was just the entire side of the sheet was just like literally cold and soaking wet. And it was like from my head all the way down. It was like I hadn't had like night sweats like that in so long. And what was so strange was that yesterday I washed and dried the fleece blanket, and I forgot to like put it on another 30 minutes. So before I lay down for my nap, I put it on another 30 minutes in the dryer. I was just going to put it on there from when I slept. So we didn't even have that on there last night. So it wasn't like I was like overheated. I mean, I like when I woke up, I was like still doing this in my sleep, like running. It was the weirdest thing. So I woke up, and at that point, I mean, I had been asleep now for like 6.5 hours, and I was kind of awake, but kind of like I could have fallen back asleep, and I, you know, so I was like, I'm gonna go downstairs, get a glass of water. When I wake up, sometimes like that, I kind of need to be like oriented a little bit, and so it was like I came downstairs, the sun was coming up, so I got a glass of water, and I sat in the chair, and I read like 4 or 5 like, passages, which is probably like 15 pages, in the Life as We Knew It book. And then I was like, I'm gonna go back to bed for a little bit. So I went upstairs, fell back asleep. I woke up and I could hear Alex down here. So I went and I looked over the edge, and he was in his meeting. And then I fell back asleep again. When I fell back asleep again, he was in bed and he had gone back to sleep. And so then when my alarm went off, I turned over and I said, I thought you had a meeting like at 1. He said something about, no, his meeting was at 2, I think is what he said. And so, or his appointment was at 2. And so he said, I'm gonna sleep a little bit longer. I go, why are we so tired? Why are we sleeping so long? He's like, I don't know. I didn't feel sick. Like I said, I've had a little bit of a cough today, but I do truly think it's allergies. It feels like an allergy cough. But we slept so long last night. I mean, other than him getting up for the meeting, me getting up, coming down here, and a couple times I woke up. I don't know, maybe I needed the sleep. So when I finally woke up and I got out of bed, which I don't even know what time it was late, I was like, it was before 2, it was like, he came over and gave me a kiss when he left. I think it was around that, so it was like 1:30, I think. And that was when I woke up and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna film any videos today. I felt out of sorts. I didn't really feel anxious, but a little bit, but not like lasting anxiety. I just felt out of sorts. I just was like, what is going on? Like, I just didn't really, I don't know. I just felt out of sorts, and like I had slept too long. And I think I texted Nikki, and Nikki was like, well, you obviously needed the sleep. I don't know. I didn't feel like I hadn't been getting sleep, so I don't know if maybe I did need it. I don't know. But I didn't wake up feeling like super rested or anything. I actually woke up and I felt completely unmotivated, and I didn't really feel like doing anything. Well, then when Alex was at his appointment, so I was just kind of like doing stuff around the house and getting up, I knew that I wanted to do the Alex Cross. That was the first video that I filmed today. I wanted to do the Alex Cross. I thought it was a drama video. No, the drama video was the last video that I filmed today. No, I did my drama video, then my Peterson's video. So I knew that I wanted to film the Alex Cross James Patterson update on the last 6 books and the next 3 books, because, I mean, it's March 7th and I haven't even talked about it yet, even though people know what the next 3 books are, but I wanted to do an update on it. So I was like, okay, I've got to put that video out today or tomorrow. And so I was like, I'm going to film that one and then probably just my vlog, and then I can relax a lot. I mean, I was so tired, even though, you know, sometimes when you sleep too much, I was so tired even though I'd slept so much. So I was like, I'm going to film my booktube video, and then I'm going to upload it, and then when Alex gets home, it'll be done. He texted me on the way home, and he said he was going to stop and get some food, and then he was like, no, I'm just going to eat what I have at home, because he had some leftovers here that he was going to heat up. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to film that video, then when he comes home, I'll upload it, and then I'd gone outside. It was cold, but it wasn't too cold outside, so I was like, I think I can film on the front porch, and when he's sitting down here, then maybe we can just take a nap this afternoon and get some more sleep or something, because I was like, I'm tired. Like, I just felt tired. Well, then I filmed the booktube video, and I kind of like woke up. And so then I just was like, I'm just going to take this a video at a time. I didn't really set out today to film so many videos. I'm kind of surprised. So I filmed the booktube video first. I'm all over here and crossed out. I filmed the booktube video first, and then I did the Traders video. So I did my reaction to the Traders finale reunion. And I also compared it to the UK and Australian Traders. And then that was when Alex came home. I got both of those done before. No, I think I did the Traders when he first got home and he was like done heating up his food. And then he was talking on the phone while I was uploading something. So that was when I went outside, and I was gonna do the PO unboxing again today, but I was like, no, that can wait till, you know, I want to like be able to sit down and do it. So I was like, I'm gonna film this video feeding the squirrels. Oh, I was sitting outside and I was reading that book, Late Migration. So I was like, I'm just gonna take a break for a little bit. So I was reading that book and then I was like, oh, I have to put more squirrel food out. I forgot. So I was like, well, why don't I do a video of me feeding the squirrels? So I did that video, ran into my neighbor outside. She comes in at the very end with her dog. And then when I got done with that, I went upstairs and he was like, babe, film as much as, he's like, do you want me upstairs or downstairs? I was like, well, it's easier for me to film upstairs. He's like, okay. So I did the puzzle review of the puzzle app. And then at that point I was like, I don't know, like if I'm going to do a drama video today. But I ended up doing a drama video and my Peterisms video. And then like when I was going into my Peterisms video, at that point it occurred to me, I was like, oh my God, I filmed on every single one of my channels today. It was kind of crazy. So actually, while I'm talking to you guys, I will, I'm going to update my list for tomorrow, for my videos I'm going to make for tomorrow. So yeah, so I don't know. I said to Alex, I said, how late do you think that we're going to be at Carlos and Liliana's house tonight? He was like, I don't know. He was like, you know, until we're bored or whatever. And he was like, why? And I was like, well, because I really want to watch some shows and read tonight. You know, it'll be fun, but I don't want to stay there till 3 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. You know, like there's some shows I want to watch and stuff like that. So hopefully, I mean, obviously I want to spend more time with my family than I do when I'm watching TV shows. I can watch TV shows any other night. Well, his aunt and uncle, I know, will not, his grandma, they won't stay late. So they'll probably leave about 12 or 1, and that's probably when we'll leave. So, and then my plan is to come home and watch some shows and yeah, and stuff like that. I think he's switched off of Suits. I think he's taking a break from Suits and he's watching something else because whatever he's watching looks newer to me. It doesn't look like older like Suits. So that's the end of the vlog at 21 minutes and 40 seconds. We're done. I have nothing else to share. No, it was just, I was kind of, to be honest with you, I love, my favorite part of the day is, I know my schedule is bizarre to people. I totally understand that. I mean, it's not just online when I tell my friends about it. I mean, Tanya and Nikki and, you know, get it. Mel doesn't really get my schedule because Mel is like, she gets up very early. She goes to bed early, things like that. Caroline doesn't get my schedule. She thinks it's weird. I understand that my schedule to other people looks weird, but to me it makes sense. I mean, it's one of the benefits from, you know, filming videos and, you know, working from home, and I can film whenever I want and things like that. So I can take a nap late at night and then get up and, but I love that period of time between like 12 and 6 a.m. of just sitting here and having the candles lit. I feel so relaxed. I feel so peaceful. That when I woke up and I was like, I slept through it all. This is where when people are like, well, I think, you know, also it's a good lesson, and like you can't like, when people say like your schedule is so weird, it's weird compared to their schedule. Like Caroline's schedule is, you know, she gets up at a certain time every day. She goes to bed every night at this certain, you know, even if she goes out to dinner with her girlfriends and stuff, she goes to bed like, I mean, she's in bed before like, she's in bed by like 9 and asleep by 10 every night. And other friends of mine are very similar to that. Tanya is kind of like me a little bit. Tanya, like, some nights will go to bed at like 9 if she's tired. And other night, well, I don't ever go to bed at 9, but like some other nights she'll stay up till 3 or 4 watching a show. Or read a book. She's very similar to me. And always has been, kind of. But, you know, I understand that it looks weird to people on the outside, but only if you have a schedule that's so rigid or different than mine. Like, for me, it's weird that people get up at 6 o'clock every single morning. Like, that's bizarre to me. You know, it's all perspective and how you look at it, you know, what makes you happy. But I know that people, you know, often when I talk about, like, the time I go to bed or taking naps and whatever, people will be like, because people, one of the questions is people are like, does it disturb Alex? It does not disturb Alex. If it disturbed my husband, I wouldn't do it. Obviously, it's not an issue at all for my, and I've asked him and talked to him about it through the years, like, does this bother you? He's like, no, not at all. First of all, Alex is a very heavy sleeper. So, I mean, he can sleep through alarms, he can sleep through, I mean, me talking, he's probably asleep up there right now. I mean, he probably started watching a show and fell asleep. So no, it doesn't disturb him at all. And I'm always here, you know, like back in the day, I'd be like driving around and whatever, but I'm always here, you know? But I think like, the one thing that's interesting to me is that I say in my videos, you know, or I'll say in my vlogs, like the time period that I'm the happiest or most at peace and most peaceful and calm is between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. And then people will say things because my schedule doesn't look normal to them, and they'll say, you should just go to bed early every night. What for? If I get up at 6 a.m., Alex doesn't leave the house at 6 a.m., so I'm up at 6 or 7 a.m., even if I went to bed at, I mean, even if I don't feel like filming videos at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't feel like, I'm not like, I kind of have to be up and turned on a little bit to like film videos. Like, it's not like, I don't know how many of you, like, at 8 o'clock in the morning are like, hey, guys, what's going on? I mean, I'm not like that at 8 o'clock in the morning, even if I had a regular schedule. When I did get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I was never like that at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, I don't know, but, like, for me, it's like, if I go to sleep that early, then I'm giving up this period of time of my day that I really, really enjoy, you know? Like, so, because I know it makes sense to people that I should just go to bed earlier and have a more regular schedule, whatever that means, you know? It's like, I don't know, maybe it's also because, like, I have friends of mine that have regular schedules, but I also have a lot of friends of mine that are like artists and musicians and things like that, that like they have very similar schedules to me, you know, and they're married and their, you know, partners go to bed like regular times and stuff like that. You know, I feel very blessed because I can remember when, like, my mom later talking to her, and she would say, I would love to have a companion and I would love to get married again. She'd say, but I don't necessarily want somebody telling me what time I have to go to bed. She'd say, you know, your dad didn't really necessarily do that, but he would kind of hint at it. Like, kind of like, okay, we're going to bed now. It's like, it's, you know, let's go to bed. And I didn't really get it. And then, as I got older, I had friends of mine that would say, like, their husbands would just, like, turn off the TV. Like, it's time to go to bed, you know? And so, or wives would do it. Like, okay, just like the show would over and they would just go over and turn off the TV. Like, okay, now that I'm done, you're done too, and you're going to bed. I had one friend of mine, she and her husband are divorced now, incidentally, but she would say that, like at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, like he would turn off the TV and be like, come on, let's go to bed. And then she would just, because her schedule, her internal clock was so different, she would just lay there in bed for hours and she just couldn't sleep, you know? I don't want to be in that marriage. I don't want to be in that marriage. If Alex wants to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to bed early, you know, and he wants to, you watch a TV show or he wants to go out to dinner with his girlfriends, you know, it's interesting because that's always kind of like a hot topic is like, oh, Alex goes out to dinner with his girlfriends and stuff like that. My cousin Caroline, who has an amazing marriage, she goes out to dinner probably at least 4 nights a week with girlfriends. And like she travels probably 6 to 8 times a year on girls' trips and takes 1 or 2 trips a year with her husband. They have an amazing relationship. Mike just doesn't like to go out to eat very often. Mike doesn't like to take trips. He like the Michigan trip and the Florida trip are the 2 trips. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. They're going to Alaska this summer and he's excited about that kind of, but like Caroline arranged that, you know? And I said to Caroline one day, I said, you know, like, if what you do is online, you would be so highly judged for it. She goes, I wouldn't be judged for it because I don't give a shit what people think about my marriage. She goes, I know my marriage is good. You know, but it's like, I think it's interesting. Look at those comments that people are like, oh, Peter and Alex never spend any time together. And Alex is always out at dinner with his girlfriends and stuff like that. I mean, we spent time together, you know, yesterday, and then Alex went out to dinner, and then we spent last night together, talked in bed before we laid down. He was watching his show. And we spend a lot of time together. We really do. I mean, almost to the point that sometimes we probably get sick of each other, you know, in all honesty. But I am so happy that I found a partner who does not mandate what my bedtime is or when I should do this or when I should do that, and that I don't do the same for him. You know, I think that maybe what works in our marriage wouldn't work for other people. I understand that. And I'm sure that as I'm sitting here saying it, there's somebody out there that's watching this and they're like, yeah, my husband or my wife basically tells me when I have to go to bed at night. I don't want to be in that marriage. I don't. If it works for you, it works for you. I don't judge that. I don't judge other people's marriages, but that's not the marriage that I want to be in. If my husband wants to go out to dinner 5 nights a week with his girlfriends, and the other thing is this, is that he always asks me usually if I want to go. I'm always the one that says I don't want to go, you know? Just like Caroline always asks Mike to stuff, and he's like, no, I don't want to go. They had to go to some wedding recently, and she goes, I don't even want to tell Mike because I know he's not going to want to go, you know? And I do think that there are things that, you know, you suit up and show up for, but I want my husband to be able to go and do things. A healthy relationship is where you're talking to each other about things. And if I can say to my husband, like, hey, I appreciate you inviting me, but no, I don't want to go, but you go have a good time. I want to sit here, you know? I mean, I got out of the shower last night and I thought, I can remember back in the day, Wednesday through Sunday, taking a shower at 9 o'clock at night to get ready to go out. Now I'm taking a shower at 9 o'clock at night to put comfy pajamas on and watch a show for the evening, you know? I'm just very proud of our communication and our relationship, you know, and we do talk about all those things, and we'll ask each other. I'll be like, you know, do you care if I I don't ask him that much anymore. Like, do you care if I stay up till 5? Because he doesn't care. He'll be like, I don't care, babe. You don't even have to ask me. But, you know, he'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go out to dinner tomorrow night. Like, do you care? Do you want to come? You know, whatever. Or, you know, oh, it's just going to be the two of us or whatever. I'm like, babe, go. Have fun. The camera stopped. But I also went downstairs and put my jeans in the dryer because, I started the vlog again, and I was like, oh damn it, I forgot to put the jeans in the dryer. So I stopped it, and then I ran downstairs and put the jeans in the dryer so they could be ready. And then I had a little friend that I saw down there, which we'll get to in just a second, the Cricket. But just to tie this up about marriage, you know, it's like, we've worked so hard. I don't know, I feel like, I don't even remember how I was ending what I was talking about before. I think when you don't communicate your wants and your needs to people, then you build resentments. I've had so many friends of mine in my life that, you know, I'll say to them, like they'll say stuff about their marriage, and I'll say, well, did you tell him or did you tell her like that you feel this way? No. But then resentments build, you know? And you don't talk to each other about the things that are upsetting you, or, you know, and I think that you have to keep open lines of conversation. I think in any relationship that I've been in my life, it was easier for me to go talk to other people about what was going on, whether it was a romantic relationship or a friendship. And I always looked at that as seeking advice, you know, from other people or suggestions, when really that was a conversation that I needed to be having with whoever the relationship was with. That was one of the things that Alex and I started doing several years ago, where we don't, I mean, not that I don't still have conversations with Tanya, and he doesn't have conversations with like his friends and whatever, but we weren't seeking advice, you know? Like, if there was something that was a big issue topic, we would take it to therapy and we would talk about it, or we would talk to each other about it. Like, does this upset you? Or, you know, I'm upset about this. Or, hey, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, or whatever. Instead of going to 1 or 5 other people and talking about it, bringing it to that person. I think sometimes we're afraid to do that in relationships. It's something in my past relationships, romantic relationships, that I didn't do because I didn't know how to have those conversations. And, you know, Alex and I are able to do that today. I think that is like one of the dividing factors that starts separating people. You know, it's interesting when I look at our relationship. I mean, we've been together 16 and a half years now, and it's like, I'm very proud of our relationship, but I'm proud of it on multiple levels. My ex was a fantastic guy. Stand-up, fantastic guy. But I would say probably about 2 years, maybe even longer than that, 3 years. We were together 6.5 years. Before that, 3 years before that, you know, we just were not intimate anymore. I mean, we definitely were roommates and friends, and I've seen this happen to a lot of relationships. And I mean, that is one thing that I was like, that's never gonna happen. I'm not gonna be in that relationship again. Not that I'm gonna work overtime to trick it into that, but that if it gets to that point, then we need to do some work. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like I've talked to quite a few people that they're completely fine with that, you know, like just not kissing each other on the cheek, not being intimate. I mean, I have had friends of mine that I've talked to, I'll be like, well, are you guys ever intimate? And they're like, we haven't had sex in probably 4 or 5 years. I'm like, what? I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'm like, what? You're totally fine with that? I'll even say this in a video, and somebody will say, I'm totally fine if I don't ever. I'm not talking about there's a physical reason why you can't do it, or there's an emotional reason, or you have trauma. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you just you're not intimate with each other. You don't kiss, you don't hold hands. I will never be in that relationship again. If that's what's okay for you and that works for you, more power to you. I will not be in that relationship again, ever. I think, you know, I would see couples that were in their 70s and 80s. My aunt and uncle were very similar to this. They're very compassionate towards each other, very loving. And, you know, and I would see other friends of theirs and friends of our family that were just so doting on each other, so compassionate and loving, you know. And that's the relationship that I want to have. I mean, even when, you know, we're old men, I want to look across the room at my husband and be like, damn, you know, my husband's fine. I love him, you know, and and I lust after him, and he's a good person, and he's a kind person, and he treats me. I want all those feelings, you know, even at 30 years. And it's possible, you know, it's possible. We have friends of ours that have been married that long, that it's possible. That's not to say that there's not going to be difficult times that are going to happen in a marriage. Difficult times happen in all marriages, you know? If you think it's going to be fairy tale. It's interesting because I get a lot of cameo requests from people that are like getting married or whatever, and they'll say like, give us some marriage advice. I'm like, the first marriage advice is that it's not a fairy tale. If you think it is, it's not. I think what happens is that slowly over time, I saw this happen with my ex. Slowly over time, things start changing. You start getting comfortable with each other, and then you stop trying so hard for the relationship. And so I think with, you know, I don't know, I think that you have to really put a lot of effort into it, you know? I have friends of mine that, I mean, they've been married for 30 years and they're still very intimate on a very regular basis, you know? And that's inspiring for me. That like, okay, well, that's possible then. And I'm not just talking about, you know, talk about intimacy. I'm not just talking about physical intimacy. I'm talking about you share parts of your life with that person. You know, when you look at the 12 points of intimacy, actually, I should pull this up right now. Let me see if it even pulls up. 12 points of intimacy. There's 12 stages of intimacy are a plot device that describe the progression of closeness between two people. Awareness of presence, noticing someone for the first time. Oh, this is not. No, this is not. This is not what I was talking about. Okay. No, this is like how you get to know one. Steps to intimacy. Eye to body. This is not what I was talking about. Respect boundaries, embracing them. 12 types of intimacy. Maybe this is what it is. I think this is it. Yes, okay, so sexual and physical. As the most recognizable, this type of intimacy may seem largely self-explanatory. That said, it's more than just having intercourse. Sexual intimacy is also about sharing fantasies, desires, and needs. It's about talking in a sensual manner to your partner, you know? And if I'm saying this right now and that makes you uncomfortable to have that conversation with your partner, I don't know, think back on when you first got married, you know, wedding nights, or when you first met them. Like, those were the things you fantasized about. Now you're embarrassed to have those conversations with that person. I don't know, you know? And then it goes on and says, once you're able to comfortably communicate your sexual needs with each other, you've reached the highest level of sexual intimacy. So it's not just about doing it, it's about talking to the other person about it, feeling comfortable to talk about those things, you know, with each other. Emotional intimacy is one of the most important types to share with your partner. It means you're able to express your feelings and emotional needs in the relationship, which requires some vulnerability. You can look this up. It goes on and on and on. Third is intellectual. The overall benefit of intellectual intimacy is being able to share thoughts and opinions that are respected by your partner. It can be as simple as discussing a book or having more controversial conversations about politics or finances. No matter the discussion, you remain open-minded when you have different views or opinions. I think this applies because there's spiritual intimacy, as we're going to talk about in here too. But I think this also kind of like applies to Alex and I's conversation about like his atheism versus my heavy spirituality. I think that has been like a huge part in our bonding, is respecting each other's boundaries, not trying to force somebody to feel the other way, but then asking questions and being interested in it too, you know? Aesthetic intimacy. Simply put, aesthetic intimacy means being able to share an experience of beauty together. The experience depends on your interests as a couple. So traveling for us is like a big one, or ultra music festival. Creative intimacy involves planning and creating things together. Trips, redoing the house. While taking an art class together might pop up in your mind, it involves so much more. Fostering creative intimacy can also include designing your future together. You might also want to create the best versions of yourself. So it's not necessarily like we say we're going to move to Miami, then we move to Miami. It's the planning, it's the talking about it, it's the creating this idea of what is in your head down the future, of imagining it and creating that together, of what that looks like. It's not always just about the end goal, right? Recreational intimacy. Yep, you guessed it. Recreational intimacy means finding hobbies and interests you can experience together. Common interests keep you feeling connected. The goal of recreational intimacy is to keep the spark alive in a relationship. So like for us, I know this is going to sound corny, but a big one is watching television shows. We talk a lot about television shows, you know? So it's all of these things are to keep conversations going in a relationship, because once you stop talking to your partner, except for what are we having for dinner tonight, or did you get the toilet paper at the grocery store, or hey, did you pay this bill yet? Then you aren't getting to know that person anymore. And like our friend Carol says, that Caroline and I are friends with, she gets to know her husband daily because they are forever changing and growing. But if you're not asking those questions, which are all going to lead back to physical intimacy, because the fresher and the more passionate the relationship is, because you're getting to know that person over and over and over again, the more you're going to want to be physically intimate by holding their hand or having sex with them, you know? But it's the fear of having those conversations. And this is where communication is vital to a relationship. It's not just about how to ask somebody, it's all of this. Work intimacy is about your careers. It's about each of you putting in the work needed to keep your relationship flowing smoothly. Examples include chores around the house, taking care of the kids, making plans, or any other responsibilities that contribute to your life together. So, I mean, we have very clear chores that each of us do and things like that. Crisis. When you go through a crisis together, big or small, it should leave you feeling closer as a couple. Crisis intimacy means you empathize and support each other during tough times. Most importantly, you want to be there for your partner. You know, this is something that I don't really ever talk about on here. But after the accident was really it was really a time for us that we really had to figure out communicating to each other again, because I think that we were both, so I had the experience of going through the trauma, not remembering the trauma. And then on the other side, the guilt, the remorse, all the feelings that I had, I didn't really know what to do going forward. My husband's experience was completely different. I mean, to this day, he still says, I thought my husband was going to die. I thought I was going to lose my husband. I was standing over him. And it's a completely different experience. And so when we started talking about it, and also talking about the victims in the accident, the man that passed away, what that might be like for his wife, things like that, you know, in a way, I think it opened conversations, and that a lot of that came out in therapy, and that opened conversations that we didn't necessarily have before. I think any crisis that you go through, losing the dogs, I think has been a crisis that has definitely brought us together in a really sad way. I think how you lean on each other in times of crisis, I think, are really, really important. You know, my husband's big on the word teammate, team partner, like that's what we are. We're, you know, team players on a team that we're going to get through something together. And that can be a financial crisis. That can be, you know, a loss, that can be trauma, that can be losing a pet, that can be anything, you know? So I think it's how you lean on each other in those times. Commitment. Commitment intimacy is not just about committing to your relationship, but also devoting yourself to working toward a shared goal. Whether it's starting a family, buying a new home, or starting your own business, you both are ready and willing to put in the effort to achieve it. So we have many things that we do with that. Conflict. Every couple argues, even the happiest ones. Since conflict is inevitable, which I think we don't like to admit to sometimes in relationships normally, it's critical to be able to work through and learn from them. Conflict intimacy refers to your ability to effectively handle arguments and allow them to make you stronger as a couple, which is one of the reasons why we stay in therapy. So that if we have an argument, we take it to therapy, we work through it. What are you really saying, Peter? What are you really saying, Alex? What do you really want the other person to say? So then we don't have to repeat the argument. We can just go to what we're really wanting to say. We learn how to communicate better. Sometimes the arguments exist. You know, sometimes in life we make mistakes so that we can learn from our mistakes. Sometimes in relationships you have arguments so you can learn how to better speak to one another if you're willing to do the work, you know? 11 is communication. As you may have noticed with other types of intimacy, good communication plays a huge role. Communication intimacy means you're able to talk openly and honestly about your needs in the relationship without your partner feeling threatened or criticized. Find out the 3 important puzzle pieces: what your partner thinks, feels, and needs about a situation before attempting to fix a problem. And the last one is spiritual intimacy. Spiritual intimacy does not necessarily have to center around religion. Simply put, it means being able to discuss the deeper meaning of life. It can certainly involve religion, but above all else, you're able to talk about your spiritual beliefs without being judged. And it says on here, while you don't necessarily have to experience all 12 types of intimacy, it's important to understand that they are all intertwined to create a strong, healthy relationship. For example, it's hard to have sexual intimacy without feeling connected on other non-sexual levels. So if you're not really talking to your partner, let's just put this for example, right? Like if you're not really talking to your partner about deeper issues, then at some point sexual intimacy, and I'm just going to say it how it just becomes fucking, right? Well, when you also have anger and resentment buildup, you don't really want to be intimate with that person. You don't really want to be that close to them. So the other forms of intimacy lead to that. You know, it's interesting because, like I said, I know people in my life where I've known more in the past, I guess, that have just kind of given up in their relationships. They don't really do any work on it, and they're completely fine with that. That makes me kind of sad because I think, like, us doing the hard work has only made our relationship better. You know, when Alex and I entered therapy, it's not just about therapy, it's the work we do outside of therapy. But when Alex and I entered therapy, we made this goal that we were going to give it a year, and at the end of the year, if things were better, then we would, we would continue to stay together. But if things hadn't gotten any better, we were going to go our own separate ways because we'd given it everything we wanted to give it, or could give it in a year, and we both deserve to be happy. I have a few people that I know, and I've known a lot of people that stay in unhappy situations because of fear of working harder to correct it. They're fearful that their partner won't correct it, or they've just become really comfortable about it. In fact, the people that judge my marriage the most seem to be the ones that, in all honesty, probably don't really know what intimacy in a marriage looks like. So, and I don't think that any one marriage or relationship looks like any other one. It's why I don't judge other people's relationships, do you? If that's a relationship that you want to stay in and you're completely fine, for the rest of your life, it's like, most of my friends that have been married for 30 years will say, I want to continue to be intimate on some level with my partner for the rest of my life because they feel that strong with them. I've been in relationships where you give up and you're willing to stay and you're willing to say, this is just what my life is going to look like for the rest of my life. We won't really have deep conversations. We won't have sex anymore. I'm completely fine with that, right? Even getting to the point where if that person went out on you, or you wouldn't be happy about it, but you kind of could turn even a blind eye to it, and that maybe if you guys were able to have a home together, or you think you could fix things. I can remember at the end of my ex did not cheat on me, and I didn't cheat on him, but at the end of our relationship, so I don't make that clear, but I've had friends of mine that got to that point. I can remember at the end of our relationship, I just thought, because Christmases were always so good for us, I thought we broke up like the beginning of December, but I thought, if we could just make it to Christmas, maybe Christmas will fix everything. I mean, that is delusional to think that just having another Christmas together is going to save something. I think in retrospect, what I really wanted was just one more Christmas with him, Today, what I know is to have what I want those holidays to look like and things like that, you have to do the hard work. You have to have the hard conversations, and you have to want it too. You have to want all of those things, and both parties have to want that. You can't just have one person working on it, and just not the other person doing anything whatsoever, right? So those have been so helpful to us. Okay. Where am I at on time? 7:35, so I've got about 25 minutes left. Where am I at on? 17 minutes, so 47 minutes. Let's go in here and read just a few comments really quickly so that I can get ready in time. Okay. Community. Somebody said if To Kill a Mockingbird came out in 2025, it would be banned. Let's be for real. So actually, To Kill a Mockingbird, and I appreciate that statement, but To Kill a Mockingbird is actually on the banned book list. It is banned in many states. But you're 100%. I agree with you. If it came out in my glasses are so dirty. Why didn't y'all tell me? And I got the blue glasses on, not the black glasses. If I gotta get some more reading glasses. I thought I had ordered them the other day, and I just left them in my cart. I never went through with that. So, my cart online, not my shopping cart at the store. You're absolutely 100% right. If it was released today, it would be banned, but it is banned, actually. There was a book that I saw that was banned, and I was so blown away by it. Before I say this, let me check. Is To Kill a Mockingbird banned? This is the first thing that came up. Oh, it says no. It's not currently banned nationwide, but it has been challenged and removed from reading lists in certain school districts. Yeah. So it has been on many, but it's not banned nationally. So maybe that's what you mean. But it's banned in a lot of, I think, is it banned in Florida? I feel like it is banned in Florida. I feel like I read a whole article about that. Florida book bans are no hoax. Here are the facts. It says something about 565 banned books. This is from 20 to 2021. Books, facts. Oh, this is long. I can't go through all this. But I do know that To Kill a Mockingbird has been banned in many states. So, but I guess not nationwide. What are nationwide banned books? Now I want to know. I used to back in the day. I would read during Banned Book Month. When is Banned Book Month? Banned Book Month. September. Last week of September. Okay. National banned books. Book list. Oh, this will be interesting. I don't know what some of these are. Well, thank you for this. Oh. Some books that have been banned in the United States include, it says The Bluest Eye, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Handmaid's Tale. Can't imagine why. The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Other banned books, 19 Minutes, Jodi Picoult, Looking for Alaska by John Green, Sold by Patricia McCormick, 13 Reasons Why, Jay Asher, Crank by Ellen Hopkins, Identical by Ellen Hopkins, they are so afraid of her, The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. Okay, where's the national book list? Challenge and banned book list. What is the #1 most banned book of all time? This will be interesting. 1984 by George Orwell. I've never read that. Other frequently banned books: Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Catcher in the Rye, The Color Purple, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Tropic of Cancer, The Diary of a Young Girl. It's interesting to me that Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, Color Purple, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings are one of the most highly challenged books. I wonder what we're afraid of by those books. Nationally banned books. Here it is. They have... Oh. Is The Color Purple really... 50 most banned books. This is from 2022. Oh, wait, let's go to this 10 book. 50 most banned books. And Tango Makes 3 about penguins. Is it a gay couple or something like that? Is that what they're afraid of? Based on real life story of 2 male... yeah, they're so afraid of... Like, we don't have bigger issues in the world than kids reading about 2 penguins that are dads that have... Why are we so fair? 2 Men Kissing by David Levithan. I feel like I read this list on here before. Jazz Jennings' book, I Am Jazz. Can't have any trans books out there. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson, one of my favorite books of life. Can't have any gay books out there. This is interesting to me, all these books on here. How many of them are... about sexuality. Oh, here's another trans book. Are all of Jazz Jennings' books banned? A lot of books about racial diversity. Why is The Court of Mist and Fury banned? Let's see. Due to its sexual conduct. But you know what they won't ban? They won't ban those adult books. Tricks by Ellen Hopkins, all of Ellen Hopkins' books, because they're so honest. Well, you know what? I got them all right up there. I got them right up there, right top corner. You can see all the Ellen Hopkins books. Anyway, interesting. It would be interesting if it was released today, wouldn't it? Elsa said, Peter, I need you on Pop Culture Jeopardy stat. I love it more than I love... Okay, I am so bad at, like... I always want to go on those shows, but I'm so bad because I'm like... I always think I'm going to get the answer, and I'm like, I get it wrong, or I get it late, or something like that. I'm not bad. Elise said, I'm still laughing about beef stroganoff chicken nuggets with Caroline. Oh, my God. Somebody said... Okay, wait. We got Peter, I was listening to this video while in the shower. You mentioned it like me, and I rushed out of the shower to type this. Out of the shower to type it? The show is such an amazing show. I loved it so much. There was behind-the-scenes drama that affected the outcome of the show. The movie is terrible, and it's a sad... I rewatch it almost once a year. I haven't rewatched it since I watched it. I actually love it more now that I've dealt with death, especially after my mom's passing. Oh, I'm sorry. The show is so nostalgic to me, but anyone who has seen it should. Love you, Peter. Well, thank you. I want to know, can you comment on what the drama is? Behind the scenes, because I didn't know. Or I'll look it up. Savannah said, Catholic to atheist pipeline is so real. Oh, I was talking about Alex. You know what's really interesting is in recovery, I cannot tell you how many people that grew up Catholic and became atheist and then, like, in recovery, find some kind of spirituality again because they're longing for it, but they just felt like it was... The doctrine was so strong. I actually have this friend of mine, and he told me one time, he was like, I am so proud of being Catholic, and I love the Catholic Church. He was like, but I feel like whenever I share it, there's just like, what's it called, like Catholic guilt? Or he's like, all these people like share stuff about their experiences. And I said, you gotta share what you gotta share. Share your experience, you know? It's your experience. Jane said, I've never seen Wicked or Greatest Showman either. Jane! Moon Milk Galaxy said, catch up day. Alex is your loving husband. I'm sure he is happy to make you happy, so don't feel bad for getting plants. Oh, he could care less about that. No, I appreciate you saying that. You know, I think it's interesting because I mean, those were the kind of things I used to worry about in like past relationships. You know, it's like, if I said that, well, okay, when it comes to decor and stuff like that, when we redo the house, like, I mean, that will be heavily Alex, because he has kind of like a look of how he wants it very minimalist, very modern. I'm like, that's totally fine. You do you. The agreement going forward is like, I want to do a lot of the art, like have very colorful art. He likes that too. A lot of the pieces that were my mom's I want to keep in here. No, she will be going with the renovation. She'll be going back to my dad and my stepmom's house. But I've had that forever. I've had that like in every apartment I think that I've ever owned. I think I had that over my bedroom in my very first apartment, maybe. I don't remember. But anyway, Alex wants it very like the one hotel in Miami, and then like we want both like bright artwork. So we don't really ever argue about stuff like that. If I wanted 400 plants, he'd say, get 400 plants, but you're going to take care of the plants. Which is really sweet, because do you guys remember a couple years ago, the plants that you order online and they're self-watering plants? He bought me 2 of them and he waters them every month. He always, like, those are the plants he makes sure he takes care of. He cares about it, see? Jojo Country Girl said, friend of mine read Sherry's book, Sherry Frankie, and said it was very good. I feel like every person that has read that book, like I've gotten so many comments from people that have said, read Sherry Frankie's book. So I'm thinking about it. I'm very sensitive to the whole, like, any kind of books about, or movies about abuse and stuff like that. It's like, I can, like, watch a documentary about it, but I can't, like, you know, like, Mel really wanted to watch and read everything about the Chris Watts case. No, maybe not, but really definitely the Murdaugh case. Some of those cases are so sad to me, especially with like Family Annihilators, that when it's done, like I just have to kind of put it away and know what I know about it, and then I can't really revisit a lot. The Chris and Shanann Watts case, to me, I don't know why that case specifically. Do you know what? This is what's so weird about that, is that, you know, I was a kid that grew up sucking my thumb, had a, you know, this blanket that was, I think I shared this before. So my dad, you know, was a doctor. So I always had ace bandages. Caroline had like this huge quilt that she used as a blanket, but I had ace bandages that I called my edgies. And so, when I found out that Chris Watts did what he did to his daughter with the blanket and then pushed her through, I mean, and just to know that those little girls were driving there with their feet on top of their mom's body, it's not just information for a documentary or a book. It really happened. And to imagine those poor children and that poor woman going through that, I can't read too much into it. You know, people have come and said, you should read this book about, you know, Chris Watts is now coming out and saying that the devil possessed him. I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit, you know. I think what he did, I think the devil's got something to do with it and probably a place for him down the road. But I have no interest in, I mean, maybe if the case got reopened and they found more information or something like that, maybe I'd be interested in kind of knowing about it. But like stuff like that, the Murdaugh murders, like we read the Mandy Matney book last year for the book club. I love the Mandy Matney version, but it talked a lot about Stephen Smith in it. And I thought that was really interesting because Stephen Smith isn't brought into it a lot. They're starting to look into it now. But yet, like a lot of other, you know, people, sexuality issues, or kind of like marginalized communities are forgotten in stories like this. And of course, a good old boy story from the South, Stephen Smith's going to be forgotten in that. And that's actually, Mel's real interested in that part of it. So Mandy Matney becomes really good friends. Was that his name? I don't want to get his name wrong if I say it, and then foreigner people will correct me. Murdaugh, Stephen Smith, yeah. And then Mandy Matney became friends with Stephen Smith's mom, and that was like a huge part of the book and stuff like that. You know, for me, that case is just so sad. I know there's a lot of cases like that I just can't read over and over and over and over again. Why am I even talking about this? Somebody left a comment about it with Sherry's book. So I am interested in reading Sherry Frankie's book, but I don't know that I don't know. I might have to wait a little bit. We'll see. Elise said she's catching up with her videos. Hey, Elise. But like you, who left the comment? I just want to make sure. Jojo, like you, so many people have reached out to me and told me that Sherry's book is fantastic. That it actually talks a lot about how what she went through affected like relationships that she had in her life with other people after the fact and things like that. I think that would be really interesting. I think any memoir of like survivors of situations like that is really interesting, of how it's affected their life afterwards. So yeah. Hold on a second. Miss Last Caress, where are we at on time? 30 seconds. I'm gonna stop it now so that I can read this comment real quick. Hold on. Okay. Said, I don't comment much, but To Kill a Mockingbird had such a profound impression on me when I first read it at 9 years old. My nickname is Boo. I love this. My dad's mom, my grandma, instilled the importance of books in me. She passed away when I was 12. I'm 35 now. My son will be 1 on the 29th, and I will be gifting him the book. Obviously, he can't read yet, but he also loves books. When he's old enough, I can't wait to read it with him. My dad was black and my mother was white. Therefore, I am mixed, and so is my son. It's important for me to teach him that we are all one. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. I faced racism from white people because I have darker skin and full lips, and from black people because I'm too light-skinned. He will probably face the same issues, but my baby is smart and so sweet. This book is so important. And you know what? Your son has an amazing mother. I think it's so interesting how it's so important for us with books that we are seeing. You know, I think, I was just referring to these banned books, and it's like, in some of those books, I have felt so seen. In Ellen Hopkins' books, when she talks about drug addiction, I felt so seen. I think that it's important for us. I've shared this story so many times, but I can remember being in junior high and knowing I had these feelings about myself that later to find out that I was gay, but I didn't really know what those feelings were. To find myself at 14 years old, standing looking for any kind of book that might have me as a character in it, and I'm standing in front of like gay and lesbian fiction in the B. Dalton section. That's all they had, and there were 2 books, and it was like Ruby Fruit Jungle or something like that by Rita Mae Brown. I don't even know if that's the name of the book. And some other book, and what was the old-timey book that I can't remember what it's called now. And then it would be like the Kama Sutra of gay sex. And I'm 14 years old, and I'm not feeling seen when I'm feeling like I got crushes like anybody else has on somebody at 13 or 14 year old, and I'm standing in a bookstore, and the bookstore is making me feel worse about myself than I felt. It's why it's so important that we have own voices, and we have authors that are sharing authentically their stories, and that people share authentically what their stories are of their life. Whatever your story is, we all have a story. We all have a story, and it's important to share your story. And I appreciate you sharing this on here and being that vulnerable, so thank you. All right, well, I'm gonna get off here now so I can get this vlog up and going, and hopefully it'll be done by the time I leave, but I doubt it. So it'll probably be posted late. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Friday. I will be back tomorrow. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.